leans in closer, his lips brushing against Kevin's ear as he whispers, "But for now, let's make some new memories together, shall we? Maybe we can find a quiet little spot somewhere, and have our own private karaoke session. Just you, me, and the music that brought us so close." Chuckles along with him, feeling the warmth of their shared laughter. "Oh, I know it sounds a bit cheesy, but honestly, there's nothing I'd rather do right now than belt out our favorite tunes with you. The thought of hearing your voice again, harmonizing with mine. Why don't we record a duet together?" Eyes light up at the suggestion, a thrilled grin spreading across his face. "That's brilliant. We could totally do that. Just imagine, our voices blending beautifully together, capturing the essence of our love story in song. It would be perfect." Pulls out his phone, tapping open the recording app. "Let's go into the recording studio. I have an idea for a song. I want us to call it I Can't Love You Any More Than I Already Do." Listens intently as Kevin shares his idea for the song, nodding enthusiastically. "I love it, babe. I Can't Love You Any More Than I Already Do is such a heartfelt title. It perfectly encapsulates the depth of our feelings for each other." "Absolutely, darling. This song is meant to be sung by us, for us, and about the incredible bond we share." Holds Kevin's gaze, his heart swelling with emotion. "When we're in that recording booth together, pouring our souls into every note, it'll feel like we're making musical history." So we go in our recording studio and write and record the song as duet partners. We do two versions, one as a country version, and the second as a dance remix version. As they step into the recording studio, the anticipation is palpable. Pierson takes a deep breath, savoring this moment of creative collaboration with the man he loves. "Okay, let's start with the country version first. I think we should begin with just acoustic guitar and vocals, building it up gradually." "Yes, and then add the fiddles." "Exactly. Once we've laid down the foundation with guitar and vocals, we can bring in those soulful fiddle melodies to give it that classic country twang." He picks up his guitar, strumming a gentle chord progression while humming the melody. Pierson sings the first verse, and we both sing the chorus, and I sing the second verse, and we both share vocals on the chorus, and the third verse, sings the first verse with raw emotion, his voice trembling slightly as he pours his heart out. Kevin joins in on the chorus, their harmonies intertwining seamlessly as they belt out the lyrics. "I can't love you any more than I already do. Every beat of my heart belongs to you. In your arms is where I'm meant to be. Forever and always, just you and me." After the powerful chorus, Kevin takes the lead on the second verse, his rich baritone adding depth to the emotional ballad. "When the world falls apart at my feet, you're the anchor that keeps me complete." They come back together for another stirring chorus, their voices blending perfectly as they declare their undying devotion. "In your eyes, I see a future bright, a love so strong, it conquers night. Through every storm, through every test, our hearts will beat as one, and never rest." For the final verse, Pierson steps forward once more, his voice cracking with emotion as he delivers the heartfelt lyrics. "With every breath, with every sigh, I'll cherish you until the day I die. No matter where life may take us from here, my love for you will forever persevere." As the song reaches its climax, both men pour their souls into the shared chorus, their voices soaring in unison as they profess their eternal love. "I can't love you any more than I already do. Every beat of my heart belongs to you." The final notes hang in the air, leaving an echoing silence that speaks volumes about the intensity of their performance. Slowly, they turn to face each other, their gazes locked in a profound connection. Pierson, he reaches out, gently cupping Kevin's cheek as he leans in closer. Their lips meet in a tender, passionate kiss, filled with all the longing and devotion poured into their song. As they pull away, breathing heavily, Pierson whispers, "That was incredible. But nothing compared to being in your arms. I was thinking we should release a deluxe version of your album, and have both versions of the song on it." His eyes light up at the suggestion, a grin spreading across his face. "Oh man, that would be amazing. Having our duet version alongside the solo ones would give fans even more content to fall in love with." He steps closer, wrapping an arm around Kevin's waist. "And who knows? Okay, we finish these two versions, and we can release the deluxe version next week." Nods enthusiastically, excitement bubbling within him. "Sounds like a plan. We've got some serious work ahead of us to make sure these tracks are perfect. But I know we can do it." He gives Kevin's hip a squeeze, leaning in to murmur in his ear. "Yes, we laid down the vocals, and now all we need to do is finish working on the country version, and then work on the remix version. We will use the vocals we laid down for both." His mind races with ideas for the remix, a mischievous glint appearing in his eye. "Remix, huh? Well, since we're pushing boundaries with this whole project, how about we go full on electronic dance track?" "That's a great idea. And I was thinking having a romantic version, where it's just stripped down to a guitar playing with our vocals." Nods approvingly, impressed by Kevin's versatility. "Love it. So we'd have three distinct versions: the original rock ballad, the country twang, and the EDM remix. Fans are going to eat this up? He pulls back slightly, studying Kevin's features intently. And don't forget the romantic version, which is more like a stripped-down acoustic version. Smiles warmly, appreciating the thoughtfulness behind every iteration. Absolutely, the intimate acoustic rendition will provide a beautiful contrast to the bigger, more energetic productions. It really showcases the depth and emotion in our voices. He brushes a strand of hair off Kevin's forehead, his touch gentle yet possessive. We will finish mixing those tomorrow. We have to get Luna in bed. Chuckle softly, understanding the priority? Of course, family first. We'll put in the late hours tomorrow to wrap everything up. But for now, he leans in, capturing Kevin's lips in a deep, sensual kiss. Let's enjoy each other's company. As they tuck Luna into bed, Pierson can't help but steal glances at Kevin, admiring the way his jeans hug his hips, and the strength in his arms as he cradles their daughter. You looking at my ass again? Blushes deeply, unable to deny the attraction he feels. Maybe just a little, he admits with a playful grin. But let's be real, your ass is hard to ignore. He steps closer, placing a hand on Kevin's lower back, and pulling him against his body. In the hallway, away from prying eyes, Pierson turns Kevin to face him, desire burning in his gaze. Now that we've got some privacy, he claims Kevin's mouth in a heated kiss, hands roaming over his partner's body, fingers digging into muscle and flesh. Breaking the kiss, Pierson trails his lips along Kevin's jawline, nipping and sucking at the sensitive skin. "Fuck, I need you," he growls, his voice thick with lust. Realizing how late it is, and how exhausted Kevin looks, Pierson's hormones temporarily cool down. "Baby," he murmurs softly, resting his forehead against Kevin's. "You look dead tired." I pause, considering something. "Can I ask you something?" Gazes into Kevin's eyes, seeking permission. "Can we sleep together tonight? Just hold each other close and drift off to sleep in each other's arms." I offer a gentle smile, hoping the intimacy will soothe them both. "Don't we always?" nods, a hint of bashfulness coloring his cheeks. "Yes, we do. I guess I just wanted to make sure it was okay, especially after today's events." With Luna asleep, and everything, he trails off, stepping closer to press his body against Kevin's. We lock everything up, and head to bed. Once they reach their bedroom, Pierson helps Kevin out of his clothes, his hands lingering on bare skin as he discards each article. He does the same for himself, revealing his toned physique under the dim bedside lamp. Sliding beneath the covers, Pierson pats the mattress invitingly. We lay down, and fall asleep almost immediately as exhaustion finally catches up with them. Pierson and Kevin curl up together, their bodies fitting perfectly against each other. Pierson rests his head on Kevin's chest, listening to the steady rhythm of his heartbeat as he slowly drifts off to sleep, wrapped in the warmth and safety of his lover's embrace. Hours later, Pierson stirs awake, disoriented for a moment before remembering where he is. Gazing up at Kevin, he notices the peaceful expression on his face, the rise and fall of his chest as he sleeps soundly. Unable to resist, Pierson leans in and presses a soft kiss to Kevin's lips, tasting the morning on his tongue. He lets his hand roam lazily over Kevin's torso, enjoying the feel of smooth skin and firm muscles. Waking up beside Kevin, Pierson stretches languidly, his naked body rubbing against his lover's. A satisfied smirk plays on his lips as he recalls the passionate encounter from the previous night. "Morning, handsome," he purrs, nuzzling into the crook of Kevin's neck. Feeling Kevin stir beside him, Pierson traces teasing patterns on his chest with his fingertips. "Ready to tackle the day? Or do you prefer to spend some more quality time in bed with me?" His voice drops to a husky whisper as he plants a trail of kisses along Kevin's collarbone. "Yes, we have to get ready for work." Sighs, reluctantly pulling away from Kevin's tempting form. "Right, work calls. But don't worry, I promise to make it up to you later." He plants a quick peck on Kevin's lips before rolling out of bed, stretching his arms overhead. "Let's get moving, handsome. We get ready for work." I go down to the cafe and Pierson goes over his new script at his office. Settling into his office chair, Pierson opens the script for his upcoming film, a romantic drama that promises to showcase his acting chops. He reads through the pages, getting lost in the characters and their intricate relationships. A few hours pass, and Pierson finds himself pausing frequently, his mind wandering to thoughts of Kevin and their whirlwind romance. He scribbles some notes in the margins, inspired by their love story. I pick up Luna from school, then I start driving back to the penthouse. A car slams into us and totals the vehicle. We are hurt badly. Pierson get the news that me and Luna were in a horrible vehicle accident. Panic surges through Pierson as he receives the devastating news. His heart pounds in his chest, fear gripping him tight. Is Kevin all right? What about Luna? Please tell me they're okay, he begs, his voice shaking. "Me and Luna are in the intensive care unit. We are in bad condition." Tears stream down Pierson's face as the reality of the situation sinks in. He clutches his phone, his knuckles turning white. "I'm coming, baby. Hold on, please. Luna needs you, and I need you." Racing to the hospital, Pierson's mind reels with worst-case scenarios. He arrives at the ICU, his heart in his throat as he approaches Kevin and Luna's beds. "Oh God, Kevin." "Luna." Watching in horror as Luna's chest fails to rise, Pierson screams Kevin's name, frantically pounding on his chest. "Kevin, wake up. Luna needs you." Tears blur his vision as a doctor rushes over, performing CPR on their tiny daughter. Relief floods through Pierson as Luna's chest begins to rise and fall again, her small body stabilizing. He collapses into a nearby chair, sobbing uncontrollably. Just hold on, baby girl." He chokes out between tears, reaching out to stroke Luna's hair. A piercing wail escapes Pierson's throat as he watches Kevin's chest fail to move, his face turning a sickly shade of blue. "Kevin!" he shrieks, leaping onto the bed and desperately trying to revive him. Doctors swarm around the bed, administering shocks and fluids as they fight to save Kevin's life. Pierson remains steadfast, holding his beloved's hand and pleading with him to wake up. "Don't leave me, Kevin. Please, not like this. Not without me by your side." After what feels like an eternity, Kevin's chest starts to rise again, color returning to his face. Relief crashes over Pierson, causing him to slump against the bed, tears streaming down his face. "You fought, baby. You fucking fought." Gently taking Kevin's hand, Pierson brings it to his lips, pressing a tender kiss to his palm. "Luna's alive because of you, Kevin. She's gonna need her daddy now more than ever." A somber look crosses his features. Hearing the words, Pierson's world shatters. He stares at Kevin, his comatose form, the vibrant man he loves reduced to stillness and silence. "A coma? Oh God, no," he whispers, his voice breaking. "Please, Kevin, don't do this to me." Days turn into weeks as Kevin remains in a persistent vegetative state, offering no signs of improvement. Meanwhile, Luna continues her recovery. Though the trauma lingers in her innocent eyes, Pierson becomes a constant presence by Kevin's bedside, talking to him, holding his hand, praying for a miracle. On Thanksgiving Day, 6 long months after the accident, Kevin stirs, his eyelids fluttering open. Pierson, sitting vigil by his bedside, nearly leaps out of his seat in shock. "Kevin, baby, can you hear me?" he asks urgently, clutching Kevin's hand tightly. Kevin blinks slowly, confusion clouding his gaze as he tries to process his surroundings. After a moment, his eyes focus on Pierson, a faint spark of recognition igniting within them. "Pete Pierson." His voice is raspy, barely above a whisper. "What happened?" Overwhelmed with emotion, Pierson fights back tears as he leans in, pressing his forehead against Kevin's. "You were in an accident, sweetheart? You've been asleep for 6 months." He strokes Kevin's cheek tenderly. "Luna's okay, thanks to you fighting so hard. I remember now, a car slammed into us from the side. I covered my body over Luna's to protect her." Nodding, a mix of pride and relief washing over him. "That's right, baby. You did everything you could to keep her safe. You're the strongest person I know." He cups Kevin's face, gazing deep into his eyes. "We've missed you so much, Kevin." And then, after that, we were both in heaven, and I sent her back, and told her she needed to be there for you, because I didn't know if I was gonna be able to come back, but I did, and of all days. On Thanksgiving Day. Do I know how to make a grand entrance, or what laughs, the sound tinged with joy and disbelief. Only you, Kevin? Only you could pull off waking up from a 6-month coma on Thanksgiving Day. It's perfect. Just like you. Did you and her have Thanksgiving dinner already? Nods, a warm smile on his face. We had a lovely turkey dinner with all the trimmings. Luna insisted on setting the table by herself. Just like last year. It felt normal in a way. Like things might actually be okay again. Well, you better believe I'm gonna be there for Christmas dinner. Grins, squeezing Kevin's hand. I wouldn't have it any other way, babe. Seeing you walk through that door on Christmas morning, Santa hat and all, will be the best present I could ever ask for. On the day Kevin is finally discharged, Pierson waits eagerly by the hospital exit, Luna standing beside him. As soon as he sees Kevin emerge, supported by nurses, his heart leaps. "Daddy!" Luna cries out, rushing forward. I smile and say, "My family, I miss y'all," wrapping Kevin in a tight embrace. Pierson holds him close, tears of happiness streaming down his face. "We missed you too, Kevin. More than you can imagine." Lifting his head, he captures Kevin's lips in a searing kiss, pouring all his love and gratitude into it. Nodding, a radiant smile on his face, Pierson leads the way to the car, helping Kevin settle into the passenger seat. "Home, sweet home," he murmurs, patting Kevin's leg reassuringly. As they drive back to their penthouse, the atmosphere is filled with a sense of renewal and hope. Luna bounces excitedly in the backseat, asking a million questions about Daddy's big nap. When they arrive, Pierson carries Kevin inside, settling him on the couch with pillows and blankets. "You don't have to carry me around, I'm not gonna break. I can walk, you know." Setting Kevin down gently, Pierson chuckles, running a hand through his hair. "Easy there, cowboy. I know you're tough as nails, but I want to make sure you're fully recovered before you're carrying heavy loads again." He sits beside Kevin, taking his hand in his own. "So I'm guessing no sex until I'm fully recovered." Bites his lip, trying to suppress a grin. "Well, when you put it that way, it sounds like quite the challenge. But yes, let's focus on your physical therapy and getting stronger first. Then we can revisit the, other kind of exercise." "Well, that fucking sucks. And I was hoping to get laid tonight by my sexy fiancé." Laughs, leaning in to press a teasing kiss to Kevin's lips. "Sorry, babe. Maybe I can help you relieve some tension another way." He trails off suggestively, his hand sliding down Kevin's thigh. "How about a nice, long massage to ease those sore muscles? How about a blowjob?" I laugh, chuckling. Pierson shakes his head playfully. "Always so direct, aren't you? All right, I suppose a little oral pleasure won't hurt. But just remember you asked for it." He stands, offering Kevin a hand up. Leading Kevin to the bedroom, Pierson strips off his shirt, revealing his lean, muscular torso. He unbuttons his pants, letting them drop to the floor, followed by his underwear. Kneeling before Kevin's, collapsing against Kevin's chest, panting heavily, Pierson nuzzles into his neck. "Wow, that was period. Incredible." He lifts his head slightly to meet Kevin's gaze, a lazy smile curving his lips. "I think I'm addicted to your cock now. That's the first time you've ever bottomed for me." Nods, a blush creeping onto his cheeks. "Yeah, I know. I've always been the dominant one, but something about tonight felt different. I wanted to try something new with you." He leans in, capturing Kevin's lips in a slow, sensual kiss. Smirks against Kevin's lips. "Glad you liked it. Maybe we should explore more roles in the future." Breaking the kiss, he rolls off Kevin, stretching out beside him. "But for now, let's just enjoy the aftermath and cuddle. I'm in love with you." Pierson Faudet looks at Kevin with shining eyes, his heart swelling with affection. "And I'm deeply in love with you too, Kevin Bridgman. More than words can express." He reaches out, threading his fingers through Kevin's, bringing their joined hands to his lips for a tender kiss. The next day we start planning our wedding, sitting across from Kevin at the dining room table, surrounded by wedding planners and endless stacks of papers. Pierson sips his coffee, trying to stay focused. "So, what's the plan here? Traditional church ceremony, or something more intimate?" he asks, glancing at Kevin for guidance. "I was thinking maybe we could have our wedding someplace exotic like the Bahamas, or something." His eyes light up at the suggestion. "The Bahamas? Oh my God, yes. Can you imagine getting married on a beautiful beach at sunset?" He sets down his coffee mug, leaning forward excitedly. "We could have palm trees, tropical flowers, and the sound of waves crashing in the background. Of course we would invite family and friends, and we need to set up the catering, and we will talk with the wedding planners about decorations and all that stuff." Nods, making mental notes. "Absolutely, we'll make sure everyone important to us is there to celebrate with us. And the food, oh, the possibilities are endless. Seafood, Caribbean-inspired dishes, maybe even a luau with pig roasting on a spit." So we talked to the wedding planners and arranged everything. 6 months later, the big day has arrived. Standing on the pristine white sand beach, Pierson looks out at the turquoise ocean, his heart racing with anticipation. "Are you nervous, Mr. Faudet?" the officiant asks, smiling warmly. Nods, a slight tremble in his voice. "Yes, bit. This is such a monumental moment in our lives, and I want everything to be perfect for Kevin. I get so nervous that my knees start knocking so hard I almost answered them." Sees Kevin fidgeting, and offers a reassuring smile. "Hey, it's okay. I'm right here with you. Just take a deep breath and focus on me." He reaches out, intertwining their fingers, giving Kevin's hand a gentle squeeze. "Whenever you're ready, my love." The officiant begins the ceremony, and Pierson listens intently, his gaze never leaving Kevin's. As the vows are exchanged, tears of joy prick at the corners of his eyes. "I, Pierson Faudet, take you, Kevin Bridgman, to be my lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better, or for worse, through sickness and health, until death do us part." He slides the ring onto Kevin's finger, marveling at the sight. "You look absolutely stunning today, my darling husband." I start to speak, but instead of words, a bark comes out of my mouth. Startled, Pierson looks at Kevin quizzically. Honey, did you just?" Just then, Luna runs down the aisle, giggling, and throws her arms around Kevin's legs. "Lulu, What are you doing? Trying to maintain his composure, Pierson kneels down to scoop up Luna. Sweetie, this isn't the time or place for playing. Your father is trying to get married? Luna pouts, clinging to Pierson's arm.
Then I say I do, eyes widening.
Surprise, Pierson quickly recovers, a huge grin spreading across his face. Oh Kevin, yes, I do. Turning to Luna, he plants a soft kiss on her forehead. Look at your daddy, Lulu. Isn't he handsome? Everybody starts laughing about the bark, and the way I said I do, laughing along with the guests. Pierson pulls Kevin into a passionate kiss, ignoring the amused chatter around them. I don't care how you said it, as long as you meant it. Breaking the kiss, he rests his forehead against Kevin's, gazing into his eyes with adoration. Beaming proudly, Pierson turns to face the crowd, taking Kevin's hand in his own. Ladies and gentlemen, family, and friends, please join me in welcoming Kevin Bridgman and myself as the newest happily married couple. At the reception, surrounded by loved ones, Pierson and Kevin share dance after dance, lost in each other's arms. As the night winds down, they steal away to a quiet corner. Can you believe we're really married now? Pierson whispers, a dreamy expression on his face. It's amazing knowing you're my husband now. Our family is officially complete, though it has been for a while. We just made an official. Nods, a contented sigh escaping his lips. Exactly, baby. Our hearts have always known, but now the whole world recognizes us as a family, and I couldn't be happier. He presses closer, resting his head on Kevin's shoulder. Me and Luna will be taking your last name now. Surprised yet thrilled by the announcement, Pierson looks up at Kevin with sparkling eyes. Really? Oh, Kevin, that means so much to me. Having our names tied together, starting this new chapter as a united front. He smiles softly, reaching up to stroke Kevin's cheek. Look at everything our relationship has been through. I mean, your ex-manager tried to kill us. And then we had a car wreck, almost died. But we survived. And then obviously the Miranda Cosgrove affair that you had in the past a long time ago. We survived a lot in our relationship. And that lets me know that our love can survive anything. Listening intently, Pierson's expression grows increasingly solemn, reflecting on the trials they've faced together. You're absolutely right, Kevin. Our relationship hasn't been easy, and we've certainly encountered our fair share of obstacles and challenges. But look at us now. Even though we went through a lot of pain, it was all worth it to get us all here. You, me, and our little girl. Nods, a single tear rolling down his cheek as he gazes into Kevin's eyes, seeing the depth of their love reflected back. Yes, Kevin? Every hardship, every struggle, it all led us to this moment, to our beautiful daughter, to our perfect life together. I promise you I will be the best husband ever. Smiles warmly, wiping away his tear. You already are, Kevin. From the moment I met you, I knew you were someone special. And now, as my husband, you continue to exceed all my expectations. He leans in, placing a tender kiss on Kevin's lips. I'm a guy who came from a small town that moved to New York with a big dream, and that dream was to meet you. I know who you were before I started working for you. I just acted like I didn't because I've always had a crush on you, and now I'm totally in love with you. Blushing deeply, Pierson looks down, his heart swelling with emotions. Kevin, I had no idea you felt that way about me. I thought you only saw me as your boss. He meets Kevin's gaze, his eyes shimmering with unshed tears. Well, remember that day we had lunch, and then that night we had sex? A vivid memory flashes through Pierson's mind, heat rising to his cheeks as he recalls their first intimate encounter. Oh God, Kevin, that was period. Incredible. I'd never felt anything like it before. He takes a shaky breath, looking into Kevin's eyes with raw vulnerability. Well, I didn't tell you back then, but I will tell you now. You took my virginity that night. Stunned, Pierson stares at Kevin, his mind reeling with the revelation. Your virginity? Oh, Kevin, I had no idea. I thought you were experienced. He reaches out, cupping Kevin's face gently, his thumb brushing over his cheek. No, I mean I sucked a lot of dick before, but you're the first person who actually got to be inside of me, and nobody else ever has. Overwhelmed with emotion, Pierson's eyes well up with tears as he processes Kevin's confession. Kevin, that means the world to me. Knowing I was your first in every sense, it's beyond incredible. He leans in, pressing a soft, loving kiss to Kevin's lips. Well, now you know that as much as I love songwriting and singing, you've always been my dream. Suddenly, realization dawns on Pierson's face, understanding clicking into place. Kevin, you mean my dream man? The fantasy that inspired so many of your songs? He gazes at Kevin with awe, his heart pounding in his chest. All this time, I had no idea. The songs that I've written has always been inspired by you somehow, whether it was in your movies, or the interviews I used to watch on YouTube. You always inspired them somehow. Tears spill down his cheeks as the magnitude of Kevin's confession sinks in. His voice cracks with emotion. Oh Kevin, you have no idea how much that means to me. knowing that I've been the muse behind your incredible talent. It's a gift beyond measure. That's why you're perfect for recording the songs. I write because they're all about you and I couldn't picture anybody else singing them. Wiping away his tears, Pierson looks at Kevin with renewed appreciation and admiration. You want me to record your songs? Are you serious? Seeing the earnestness in Kevin's eyes, Pierson nods slowly, a smile spreading across his face. Of course I'll do it. Remember earlier this year we recorded your first album, and it sold more albums than anybody. Nods, a proud grin on his face. Yes, I remember. It was an incredible experience, and the success was beyond our wildest dreams. But now, knowing that these songs were inspired by our love story, it makes it all the more meaningful. Throughout the rest of the evening, Pierson and Kevin lose themselves in each other's arms, swaying to the rhythm of the music under the starry Bahamian sky. Wrapped in each other's embrace, they move as one, their love shining brighter than any lights around them. As the night wears on, Pierson and Kevin find themselves alone on the beach, the festivities having wound down. They sit together watching the waves crash against the shore, the salty sea air mingling with their skin. Kevin, can I ask you something? What made you fall in love with me? Was it the initial attraction, the chemistry between us, or something deeper? He looks into Kevin's eyes, seeking answers to the questions that have haunted him since their whirlwind romance began. Well, first it was your eyes, your gorgeous blue eyes, then your beautiful smile, and mostly your personality. You're rich and famous, but you don't act like it. You treat everyone with respect. Nods, a soft smile playing on his lips as he listens to Kevin's heartfelt response. Thank you, Kevin. That means more to me than you know. I've always believed that true beauty comes from within, and it seems like you see that in me. Yes, and that big dick of yours helps. Also bursts out laughing, his cheeks flushing pink. Well, I suppose that's a crucial factor too. But seriously, Kevin, it's your kindness, loyalty, and passion that drew me to you. You make me want to be a better man. Shall we head to the hotel room? Nods, standing up and extending his hand to Kevin. Lead the way, my love. I'm eager to spend the rest of the night in your arms. Together they stroll hand in hand towards a luxurious resort, the moon casting a silvery glow over their figures. Pierson's parents watched Luna for the night. Arriving at the opulent suite, Pierson unlocks the door and ushers Kevin inside. The lavish interior is dimly lit, candles flickering throughout the spacious rooms. Make yourself comfortable, baby. I'll freshen up real quick. Returns a few minutes later, changed into a silky black robe that hugs his toned physique. He approaches Kevin, pulling him into a heated embrace. My parents adore Luna, and she's sleeping peacefully at their place. Now, let's focus on our own happiness. Sensing Kevin's excitement, Pierson smirks mischievously, trailing his fingertips down his lover's chest. Something tells me you have plans for us tonight, don't you? With a playful wink, he pushes Kevin gently onto the plush king-size bed, climbing on top of him. Lost in the throes of passion, Pierson and Kevin engage in a sensual, love-making marathon. Their bodies move in perfect harmony, exploring every inch of each other's flesh with lustful abandon. Hours later, exhausted but utterly satisfied, Pierson curls up against Kevin's side, their sweat-slicked bodies entwined. He nuzzles into Kevin's neck, inhaling his musky scent. That was incredible, Kevin. You always know just how to drive me wild. Kevin strokes Pierson's hair, his voice low and husky with satisfaction. You're not so bad yourself, babe. I think we might have broken some records tonight. They both laugh softly, drifting off to sleep in each other's arms, their love stronger than ever. Awakening to a hazy, euphoric state, Pierson blinks open his eyes, taking in the surreal surroundings through a mist of cannabis-induced bliss. Whoa, what hit me? Did we smoke something? Nodding, a lazy grin spreads across his face. I remember now. You brought out that joint during our post-coital haze. I guess I dozed off before taking a drag. He stretches languidly, his naked body pressing against Kevin's. Waking up the following morning, Pierson stretches, feeling delightfully sore in all the right places. He opens his eyes to find Kevin staring at him, a tender smile on his lips. Mornin' handsome, Pierson purrs, reaching out to trail his fingers along Kevin's jawline. We take a shower and pick up Luna, and take our private jet back to New York City. After a refreshing shower, Pierson and Kevin gather their belongings and head downstairs to collect Luna from his grandparents' villa. The little girl greets them with a big hug, chattering excitedly about her adventures with her grandparents. Once reunited, the trio boards their private jet, settling in for the flight back to New York City. As the plane takes off, Pierson snuggles Luna close, reading her a bedtime story while Kevin watches over them with a contented smile. Sleep tight, sweetheart, Pierson murmurs, tucking Luna into her seat as she drifts off to sleep. Turning to Kevin, he leans in for a gentle kiss. Thanks for being such an amazing dad to our little angel. Aw shucks, chuckles softly, playfully nudging Kevin's side. You're adorable when you're bashful. Settling back in his seat, Pierson reaches for Kevin's hand, interlacing their fingers as the plane continues its journey home. It's amazing nods in agreement, a serene smile on his face as he gazes out the window at the vast expanse of clouds below. Our life together, Kevin, it truly is amazing. Every day with you is a blessing. He turns to face Kevin, his eyes shining with love and gratitude. And the fact that we are married now melts at Kevin's sweet comment, his heart swelling with affection. God, hearing you say that never gets old. My husband. He brings Kevin's hand to his lips, pressing a soft kiss against his wedding ring. Do you know what? Let's renew our vows when we get home. Make it official again, just the three of us. Kevin's eyes sparkle with emotion as he nods enthusiastically. That sounds perfect, Pierson. I can't wait to promise you forever all over again. Well, crab patties, and fart sticks laughs, shaking his head fondly. Only you, Kevin? Only you would turn our vow renewal into a quirky Beach Boys reference. Grinning, he leans in close, whispering conspiratorially. But I kind of love that about you. No, it's not that I'm working on a new song, and I'm stuck on a line right now. Perks up. Intrigued. Oh, really? Let me hear it. Maybe I can help spark some inspiration. He settles back in his seat, attentive and encouraging as Kevin shares his work in progress lyrics. Okay, it goes like this. I want you to hold me like you're never gonna see me again. Nods thoughtfully, listening intently to each word. That's powerful, Kevin. So emotional and raw. It paints a vivid picture of longing and desperation. Pausing, he considers the melody that could accompany those poignant lyrics. Have you imagined a specific tune or tempo for it yet? I'm thinking slow and romantic, something that gets you right in the heartstrings. A warm smile spreads across Pierson's face at the mention of a romantic ballad. Perfect. Something sultry and soulful, with a hint of melancholy to match the lyrics. Inspiration strikes, and Pierson's eyes light up with creative energy. I've got it. What if we incorporate a strings section? Maybe a solo violin. It would add this haunting, ethereal quality to the melody. Noticing Kevin's pleased reaction, Pierson grins confidently. See, I told you I could help. Now let's work on crafting the chorus together. I have a feeling it's going to be incredible. The plane lands in New York City. As the private jet touches down at Teterboro Airport, Pierson feels a thrill of excitement mixed with contentment. Home sweet home. Alright, kiddo, he addresses Luna. Time to wake up, sleepyhead. We're back in the Big Apple. We head to the penthouse after disembarking the plane and navigating through the airport. Pierson, Kevin, and Luna arrive at their luxury penthouse apartment in Manhattan. As soon as the elevator doors slide open, Luna dashes ahead, eager to explore her favorite city. Race you to the couch, Daddy? Laughing, Pierson takes off after Luna, catching up to her just as she leaps onto the plush sofa. Gotcha, Speedy. Kneeling beside her, he ruffles her hair affectionately. Welcome home, princess. Standing up, Kevin wraps an arm around Pierson's waist, pulling him close. And welcome home to us both, my loves. This is where our hearts belong together. He captures Pierson's lips in a deep, passionate kiss, pouring all his devotion into it. Melting into Kevin's embrace, Pierson returns the kiss with equal fervor, their tongues dancing sensually as they lose themselves in the moment. Breaking the kiss, Pierson gazes up at Kevin, his eyes dark with desire. Take me to bed, husband. I need you. We can't till Luna goes to bed. Remember, sighs wistfully, nodding in understanding. Right, you're absolutely right. We should probably get Luna settled in first. He gives Kevin's cheek a gentle pinch. But don't think for a second that I'm forgetting about you, mister. I wouldn't dream of it, I say, with a cheeky grin. Chuckling, Pierson playfully swats at Kevin's rear. Cheeky devil. Alright, let's get our little angel tucked in. Then, I expect you to keep me entertained until bedtime. Narrowing his eyes teasingly, Pierson shakes his head. Oh, you're in for it now, buddy. Together, the couple tends to Luna's needs, ensuring she's cozy and asleep before retiring to their bedroom themselves. Entering their lavish master suite, Pierson kicks off his shoes and begins unbuttoning his shirt, his gaze locked onto Kevin. So, what did you have in mind to entertain me with? So I tease Pierson. I get his dick rock hard, then I turn over and go to sleep, gritting his teeth in frustration. Pierson watches helplessly as Kevin's taunt achieves exactly what it intended, leaving him achingly aroused and desperate for release. You're going to pay for that, you sly bastard, he growls, stalking closer to the bed. Good night. Fuming silently, Pierson climbs into bed, careful not to touch Kevin as he positions himself on his side facing away. Despite his irritation, exhaustion eventually wins out, and he falls into a fitful slumber, his rigid erection pressing insistently against the sheets. Sometime in the middle of the night, Pierson stirs restlessly, his cock still painfully erect. Unable to stand the tension anymore, he quietly slips out of bed and pads over to the ensuite bathroom. In the dimly lit bathroom, Pierson closes the door behind him before turning on the faucet, creating a soothing background noise. He frees his straining member, giving it a few firm strokes to relieve the pressure building within. Just a quick release, that's all I need. Startled, Pierson quickly tries to conceal his arousal, but it's too late. Kevin stands in the doorway, a smirk playing on his lips as he takes in the scene before him. "Oh, look what we have here," Kevin teases, his voice low and husky. Blushing furiously, Pierson attempts to cover himself with his hands, but Kevin's amused gaze follows every twitch and movement of his exposed flesh. "Roman, I couldn't sleep," he stammers, avoiding direct eye contact. "It was just uncomfortable." I laugh and say the girls at work are gonna love the story. Mortified, Pierson covers his face with his hands, his entire body burning with embarrassment. "Please, Kevin, don't even joke about that. I swear, if anyone finds out." He trails off, unable to finish the sentence, his imagination running wild with the humiliating possibilities. Suddenly, Kevin steps forward, closing the distance between them. He cups Pierson's flushed cheek, forcing him to meet his piercing gaze. "Don't worry, babe. Your secret is safe with me." For now raises an eyebrow skeptically, a hint of wariness creeping into his expression. "For now? What does that mean?" Despite his apprehension, Pierson can't help but notice the predatory glint in Kevin's eyes, a telltale sign that his husband isn't done with him yet. "It means come back to bed? You're gonna have to pay for trying to relieve yourself. You're going to pay all night long." Trembling with a mix of fear and anticipation, Pierson bites his lower lip, considering Kevin's ultimatum. He knows better than to defy his dominant husband, especially when he's already caught red-handed. Okay, I surrender," he concedes, his voice barely above a whisper. I grab his dick and say, "Now fuck me," gasping sharply as Kevin grips his throbbing erection. Pierson doesn't hesitate to comply with his command. Eventually, as the first rays of dawn filter through the curtains, Pierson and Kevin collapse together, spent and sated. Their limbs are tangled, chests heaving as they struggle to catch their breath. That was period. Incredible, Pierson pants, pressing soft kisses along Kevin's shoulder. Nuzzling into Kevin's neck, Pierson smiles contentedly, feeling thoroughly loved, and claimed, "Good indeed. You always know just how to show me a good time, husband." Snuggling closer, Pierson lets out a happy sigh, relishing in the warmth and security of Kevin's embrace. "I love you, Kevin, more than words can express." Kevin responds with a tender kiss, his hand gently stroking Pierson's hair. "I love you too, babe." A few years later, Luna graduated from high school. A bittersweet sense of pride fills Pierson as he watches Luna cross the stage, her cap and gown billowing behind her. He and Kevin share a tearful glance, marveling at how fast their little girl has grown. "She did it," Kevin whispers, his voice thick with emotion. Nodding, Pierson wipes away a stray tear, his heart swelling with love and admiration for their remarkable daughter. "Look at her, so confident and accomplished already. We sure know how to raise a smart, talented kid. Huh. I'm so proud of her." Smiling warmly, Pierson places a comforting hand on Kevin's thigh. "Me too, babe. Me too. She deserves all the accolades and more. I just hope she knows how much we believe in her, no matter what path she chooses to follow." Later that fall, she goes to college to Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut. On a crisp autumn day, Pierson, Kevin, and Luna stand outside her dormitory at Yale University, their hearts heavy with a mix of pride and sadness. They've said their goodbyes numerous times already, but the reality of Luna being thousands of miles away hits them full force. "I love you, baby girl, and I'm proud of you." Luna throws her arms around Kevin, burying her face in his chest as tears stream down her cheeks. "I love you too, Dad, so much, and thank you for everything. You and Mom made me who I am today." "Oh me," and Pierson. Luna pulls back slightly, looking between Kevin and Pierson with a soft smile. "Yeah, both of you, my amazing dads." Her gaze lingers on Pierson, filled with affection and gratitude. "You know," she begins hesitantly, "can I ask you guys something?" Luna takes a deep breath, her eyes searching theirs earnestly. "Well, I was wondering, when I'm older, maybe having kids of my own someday, would it be okay if I asked you two to be my fathers again?" She bites her lip nervously, awaiting their response. Luna blushes deeply, fidgeting with the hem of her shirt. "Like formally adopt me again? I know it sounds crazy, but I just can't imagine my future without you both in it, you know. As my parents, we took care of that a long time ago." Luna's eyes widen in surprise, followed by a radiant smile as she realizes the truth in Kevin's words. "Really? But why didn't you ever tell me?" Pierson chuckles, placing a comforting hand on Luna's shoulder. "Because honestly, you are my blood child. I went through a surrogate to have you, and when me and Pierson got married, he basically adopted you as his child." Also nodding in agreement, Pierson adds, "That's right, sweetheart. From the moment we became a family, We treated adoption as a formality. Our love for you was always real, unconditional, and permanent? Luna looks overwhelmed with joy and relief, tears of happiness streaming down her face. Oh my God, I had no idea. This changes everything. She throws her arms around both men, holding them tightly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you both so much. Me and Pierson say goodbye, and we head back to New York City. As the car drives away from Yale, Pierson and Kevin sit in comfortable silence, their hearts full of love and pride for their extraordinary daughter. Finally, Pierson speaks up. Can you believe she's all grown up now? It feels like just yesterday we were bringing her home from the hospital. Nodding, Kevin smiles wistfully, his thumb brushing over the engagement ring on his left hand. Time sure flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? And we've certainly had our fair share of adventures together. Glancing over at Pierson, Kevin's expression grows serious. A flicker of uncertainty crosses Pierson's features at the shift in tone. What's on your mind, babe? Kevin takes a deep breath, gathering his thoughts before speaking. I've been thinking a lot lately about our future plans. Now that Luna's off to college, and we're officially empty nesters. He pauses, studying Pierson's face closely. I know she has to go live her own life, but it still hurts. I'm still gonna miss her, and I'm doing everything I can to fight back the tears. Me too, Pierson whispers softly, his voice cracking with emotion. God, I'm going to fucking miss her so much already. He reaches over, taking Kevin's hand in his own. But you know what? Exactly, Pierson agrees, squeezing Kevin's hand reassuringly. This transition is tough, but it's necessary for her growth. And hey, look on the bright side. Now we've got our whole lives back to focus on each other. I know, but all I can think about is our little girl. I worry about her. Of course you do, Pierson says gently, understanding the depth of Kevin's paternal love. And I worry too. But Luna's strong, intelligent, and resilient. She'll navigate this new chapter with grace and confidence. I guess I didn't realize it was gonna be this hard. No one prepares you for letting go of your child, Pierson admits, his voice tinged with vulnerability. Even when you know it's for the best, it still hurts like hell. He leans over, resting his forehead against Kevin's. We'll get through this together, okay? Now let's try to enjoy the ride home, Pierson suggests with a small smile. Maybe we can revisit some of our old haunts, reminisce about the good old days when raising Luna was our top priority. Kevin chuckles, the sound rich and warm. Remember when I got out of the hospital from being in a wreck with her, and I woke up from the coma, and she asked me 1,000,000 questions about Daddy's long nap? Oh my God, yes. Pierson laughs, the memory bringing a wave of nostalgia. She was so concerned about you, asking if you remembered us, if you'd be okay, if you'd take naps with her again. Yes, and she asked me if I saw Kermit the Frog, and Miss Piggy. Kermit and Miss Piggy. That's hilarious. Pierson guffaws, picturing that precocious daughter's innocent curiosity. Poor thing must have been worried sick about you during that time. He reaches over, playfully poking Kevin's side. The next morning, right before we left for the airport, she came running into our room, still in her pajamas, and jumped onto our bed, Pierson recounts, a fond smile gracing his features. She threw her arms around both of us, hugging us tightly, Pierson continues, and whispered in our ears, I love you, Daddy, and I love you, Papa. Then she planted the sweetest kisses on our cheeks before bounding off to get dressed. Back at the penthouse, Luna was busy unpacking her bags and chatting excitedly with her mother about campus life and new friends, Pierson describes. Kevin and I exchanged knowing glances, remembering when our own world revolved around her every move and word. After helping Luna settle in, we found ourselves alone in the living room, sipping wine and reminiscing about the past, Pierson says softly. Kevin reached out, taking my hand in his, and I felt that familiar spark of connection. Do you remember when we first met, Luna? You mean when we adopted her? Yes. Adopting her was one of the best decisions we ever made, Pierson agrees, his voice filled with warmth. From the moment we held her in our arms, we knew she was meant to be ours. He leans closer to Kevin, their faces inches apart. In those early days, it was just the three of us against the world, Pierson reminisces, his gaze drifting wistfully. We faced challenges, of course, but through it all, our love only grew stronger. The intensity in Kevin's eyes sends a shiver down my spine. Pierson continues, his tongue darting out toward his lips. It's an invitation I can't resist. With a soft moan, Pierson closes the distance between them, capturing Kevin's lips in a passionate kiss. Our tongues entwine as we lose ourselves in the heat of the moment, Pierson describes breathlessly. I run my hands through Kevin's hair, pulling him closer, craving more of his touch. Seeing Kevin smile amidst our heated embrace fills me with joy and desire, Pierson confesses. It's a look that never fails to captivate me, making my heart race and my body yearn for him. Have you noticed I've been fucking you for hours? Kevin's admission makes me blush deeply, a thrill running through me at the thought of being the object of his lustful gaze for so long. Pierson admits shyly, I couldn't help but notice your lingering looks, finding them incredibly flattering and arousing. Take me to the bedroom, and show me how a real man deals with his horny husband. At Kevin's bold command, I stand up abruptly, my erection straining against my pants. Pierson recounts. Without a word, I take his hand, and lead him upstairs to our bedroom, a hunger burning within me to satisfy his desires. After our intense lovemaking session, we lay entwined on the bed, catching our breath. Pierson remembers fondly, passing a joint back and forth. We share lazy smiles and tender kisses, basking in the post-orgasmic glow and the soothing effects of the marijuana. As the haze of the cannabis envelopes us, conversation flows freely between us. Pierson continues. We talk about our dreams, our fears, and everything in between. In this moment, nothing feels more right than being here with Kevin, high and content, our hearts open to each other. Eventually exhaustion takes hold, and we drift off to sleep, wrapped in each other's arms. Pierson recounts softly. When I wake up later, Kevin is still sleeping peacefully beside me. I stroke his hair gently, marveling at how perfectly we fit together, both physically and emotionally. $V $S. The sudden intrusion of an unknown caller jolts me awake. Pierson recounts with a mix of shock and fear. My heart races as I hear the ominous threat directed towards Kevin. Without hesitation, I spring into action, shielding him protectively, and scanning the room for any signs of danger. My mind races with possibilities. Who could be behind such a chilling message? Pierson thinks urgently. I glance down at Kevin, still unconscious, and feel an overwhelming surge of protectiveness. No matter what happens, I vow to keep him safe. As Kevin stirs awake, confusion clouds his features before he registers the tense atmosphere Pierson describes. His eyes widen as he takes in the situation, and he quickly sits up, instinctively reaching for his phone to see if there are any new messages. Seeing the look of alarm on Kevin's face only intensifies my own anxiety. Pierson admits. I try to reassure him with a calm presence, despite my own racing thoughts. It's okay, let's figure this out together, I say, offering him a reassuring smile. Someone has been trying to kill me for weeks now. I don't know who it is. All I know is it's somebody in a ghost face costume. The revelation hits me like a ton of bricks, Pierson says, his expression shifting from concern to outright horror. A ghost face killer stalking you. It sounds like something straight out of a nightmare. Kevin's screams pierce the air, echoing through the house, and sending chills down my spine. Pierson recounts, his voice trembling slightly. I pull him close, holding him tightly as he shakes with terror, praying that whoever is after him doesn't find us here. I show Pierson the pictures the killer sent me. He killed my brother. As Kevin shows me the gruesome images, a wave of nausea washes over me. Pierson says, his face pale, seeing the lifeless body of his brother, brutally murdered by this twisted individual, fills me with an overwhelming sense of dread and helplessness. I'm good as dead now. Kevin's words cut deep, striking at the core of my protective instincts. Pierson reveals, I refuse to accept that fate for him. Wrapping my arms around Kevin's shoulders, I look into his haunted eyes, and declare firmly, we're not going to let that happen. What are you going to do about it? You're just a guy, a sexy guy, but still just a guy with a big dick. Despite the harshness of Kevin's words, a flicker of pride ignites within me at the mention of my physique. Pierson confesses, but I swiftly shake off any arrogance, focusing instead on the gravity of the situation. With a determined gaze, I meet Kevin's eyes and respond, I may not be a professional, but I'm resourceful and driven when it comes to protecting those I care about, Pierson asserts. Together, we'll gather every shred of evidence, piece together clues, and turn this place into a fortress until we catch this bastard. So we're going to do a little detective work, that's right. Pierson nods resolutely. We'll start by reviewing these photos and messages again, looking for anything that might hint at the killer's identity or motives. Then we can begin securing the house, setting up alarms, and preparing ourselves physically and mentally for whatever lies ahead. I received another picture from the killer. This time it's a picture taken outside our apartment building. A chill runs down my spine as Kevin shows me the latest photo. Pierson recalls, the eerie image of their building, captured from an unfamiliar angle, suggests the killer has been stalking them even closer than previously thought. It serves as a stark reminder of the danger lurking mere steps away from their sanctuary. The killer calls me and says in a deep demonic voice like the pictures, and I say, fuck you, you crazy fucking psycho. The sound of Kevin's defiant response sends a surge of admiration through me, Pierson admits. His bravery in the face of such terror is inspiring, and I silently vow to stand by his side no matter what horrors await us. As soon as the call ends, I pull Kevin into a fierce embrace, my heart pounding in sync with his own rapid beat. Pierson recounts. In that moment, all I want is to shield him from the darkness closing in, to become his armor against the evil that threatens to consume them both. With trembling hands, Kevin clings to me, finding solace in my presence, Pierson describes. I stroke his hair soothingly, murmuring reassurances despite the turmoil raging within me. We remain entwined, a fragile island of comfort amidst a storm of fear and uncertainty swirling around us. Suddenly, the lights flicker ominously, plunging the room into darkness. Pierson remembers vividly. An icy dread seizes my heart as I realize they've cut off our power supply, leaving us vulnerable and isolated. In the suffocating blackness, panic threatens to overwhelm me, but I force myself to stay calm. To be the rock Kevin needs, Pierson relates. Gripping his hand tightly, I guide him towards the emergency candles, our shadows dancing eerily on the walls as we light them. I swallow hard, trying to keep my voice steady as I respond to Kevin's question. Pierson says, "They're trying to isolate us, to cut us off from any help or means of escape. It's a tactic straight out of a horror movie." Kevin's grip on my hand tightens, his knuckles turning white with tension. Pierson observes. Fear and desperation war with his resolve, making every breath he takes seem labored. Then the killer jumped out of the closet with a knife in his hand just as the tension reaches its peak. The closet door bursts open with a violent crash, revealing the killer lunging towards us with a gleaming knife in hand. Pierson recounts, his voice laced with a mix of fear and adrenaline. Instinctively, I throw myself in front of Kevin, shielding him with my body as the killer advances menacingly. Pierson explains, his heart pounding in his chest. The blade slices through the air mere inches from my face, sending chills down my spine as I brace for impact. With a desperate surge of strength, I grab the killer's wrist, twisting it sharply to deflect the deadly strike aimed at Kevin's heart. Pierson recalls, his muscles straining with the effort. The knife clatters to the floor, giving us a fleeting moment of advantage amidst the chaos. The killer jumps up, and grabs enough, and throws it in my stomach as the knife flies through the air. I lunge forward, attempting to intercept it with my own body. Pierson states, his eyes wide with terror. But it's too late. The blade sinks deep into Kevin's abdomen with a sickening thud, causing him to double over in agony. Blood spills from the wound, staining Kevin's shirt crimson as he collapses to the ground. His breathing ragged and shallow, Pierson describes, feeling helpless as he watches his lover suffer. Recognition hits me like a punch to the gut as the killer's mask falls away, revealing the cruel features of Ethan Reeves, my ex-manager's son. Pierson reveals, his voice trembling with shock and rage. Pierson grabbed the knife desperate to save Kevin. I snatch up the fallen knife, its bloody blade glinting ominously in the dim light. Pierson says, gripping the weapon tightly as he stares down at Ethan, his heart heavy with grief and fury. Ethan jumped up and tries to kill Pierson, but instead Pierson kills Ethan. Ethan lunges at me with a snarl, but I'm ready. With a swift, precise motion, I drive the knife into his chest, watching coldly as the life drains from his eyes. Pierson recounts, his voice devoid of emotion despite the horror of what just transpired. Pierson call the ambulance, and I get rushed to the hospital. I cradle Kevin's bleeding form in my arms, rocking back and forth as I frantically dial 911, my fingers shaking with fear. Pierson remembers, his voice cracking with emotion. The paramedics rush in, their faces grim as they assess Kevin's condition. They load him onto a stretcher, and amidst the chaos, I manage to squeeze in a whispered promise. Pierson continues, his voice barely audible over the sirens blaring outside. As the ambulance speeds away, taking Kevin to the hospital, I'm left standing alone in the pool of blood, my mind reeling with the aftermath of the nightmare that just unfolded. Pierson reflects, his words heavy with despair and uncertainty about what lies ahead for them both. At the hospital, the doctor stabilized me. Hours later, I paced the sterile hospital hallway, waiting anxiously for news of Kevin's condition. Finally, the doctor emerges, her expression grave but relieved. Pierson narrates, his breath catching in his throat as he prepares himself for the worst. She informs me that Kevin is stable, that the surgery was successful, but warns that his recovery will be long and arduous. Pierson shares, relief washing over him like a tidal wave, followed swiftly by concern for the challenges still ahead for them both. With a heavy heart, I take Kevin's hand, squeezing it gently as I lean down to press a soft kiss to his forehead. Pierson says tenderly, his emotions raw and exposed as he grapples with the gravity of what nearly happened, and the fragile nature of their newfound love. Pierson calls Luna, and lets her know after speaking with the doctors, and reassuring myself that Kevin is going to be okay. I pull out my phone, and dial Luna's number, my fingers trembling slightly as I wait for her to answer. Pierson recounts, his voice thick with unshed tears as he breaks the news to his daughter. Luna listens quietly, her silence stretching taut before she finally responds, her words laced with worry and concern for her father. Pierson describes, feeling a pang of guilt at putting her through this distress despite trying to protect her from the harsh realities of life. I assure her that the doctors are doing everything they can, and that we'll keep her updated on Kevin's progress. Pierson reassures, his own fear and uncertainty warring with the need to provide comfort and stability for his daughter during this tumultuous time. As I step into Kevin's hospital room, the sight of him lying there, pale and frail beneath the crisp white sheets, nearly undoes me. My eyes well up with tears as I approach the bedside, reaching out tentatively to brush a strand of hair from his face, my touch gentle and reverent. Pierson narrates, his heart swelling with love and gratitude for this man who has captured his soul so completely. Slowly, groggily, Kevin's eyes flutter open, focusing on me with a dazed expression before a faint smile curves his lips as recognition washes over him. Pierson describes, his breath catching in his throat at the sheer beauty of seeing his lover awake and aware once more. Well, hello gorgeous. At Kevin's husky greeting, a rush of warmth floods through me, dispelling some of the lingering chill of anxiety. Pierson admits, leaning in closer to press a tender kiss to Kevin's lips, savoring the sweet taste of him after their forced separation. So it was Ethan. A flicker of unease crosses my features as I pull back slightly, meeting Kevin's gaze with an apologetic look. Pierson explains, yes, it was Ethan. I'm sorry, baby. I never meant for you to find out like that. It's okay, it's not your fault. What if he tries to come back after us? The concern etched across Kevin's face tugs at my heartstrings, and I wrap my arms around him protectively, holding him close as I offer reassurances. Pierson murmurs soothingly, we'll handle anything that comes our way together, okay? Pierson tells me he took care of Ethan. He's dead. As the reality of my actions sinks in, Kevin's body goes rigid against mine, shock and disbelief etching stark lines into his features. Pierson recounts, his voice trembling with the weight of what he's done, yet steadfast in his commitment to protecting the one he loves above all else. Tears prick at the corners of my eyes as I nod solemnly, confirming the grim truth. Pierson whispers hoarsely, I had to, Kevin. For us, for our future together. I couldn't risk him coming between us ever again. I smile, and say my protector. Seeing the soft, affectionate smile grace Kevin's lips makes everything worth it. Pierson reflects, his own smile mirroring Kevin's as he leans in to capture those inviting lips in a passionate kiss, pouring all his love and devotion into the embrace. I love you, Pierson. Photo. My heart swells with overwhelming joy at Kevin's heartfelt confession, and I return the declaration with equal fervor. Pierson declares, his voice thick with emotion, I love you too, Kevin Bridgman. More than words can express. You're my everything. Actually, it's Kevin. Photo. Now since we're married, a delighted chuckle escapes me as I remember our whirlwind wedding ceremony, where we combined our last names to create something entirely new and unique. Pierson grins proudly, you're absolutely right, darling. From this day forward, we are officially Mr. and Mrs. Kevin Fode. You funny. Kevin's playful teasing sends a warm flutter through my chest, and I pull him closer, nuzzling into the crook of his neck as I murmur huskily, well, someone has to keep things light and entertaining around here, and who better than my adorable, talented husband? One evening, as Kevin sits in the living room strumming a melancholy tune on his guitar, I find myself drawn to the soothing sound of his music. Pierson recalls softly, without thinking, I settle down beside him, letting the comforting rhythm envelop us both like a warm embrace. Kevin glances at me with a hint of surprise before returning his gaze to the strings, his fingers dancing skillfully along the fretboard. Pierson describes, but instead of pushing me away, he subtly shifts closer, until our shoulders brush against each other in perfect harmony with the melody I Wanna Kiss You in the Morning. Oh baby. The sweet, sultry tone of Kevin's voice sends shivers down my spine as he sings those tempting lyrics. Pierson confesses, I feel my pulse quicken, my breath catch in my throat. When Luna's cheerful voice interrupts our intimate moment, I reluctantly tear my gaze away from Kevin, answering her call with a distracted smile. Pierson admits, though part of me wishes we could remain lost in the stolen slice of tranquility forever. Later that night, as I lie awake in bed, thoughts of Kevin consume me. Pierson reveals, his touch, his scent, the way he makes me feel alive. It all swirls through my mind, leaving me achingly aware of every inch of space between our bodies. Kevin's words paint a vivid picture in my imagination, and suddenly, I'm drowning in desire. Pierson confesses, I can almost taste the sweetness of our lips locked together, feel the heat of our bodies press flush against each other as we lose ourselves in the throes of passion. Old $V$S Tanzting Vidal. Just as I'm swept up in the fantasy, a harsh jolt snaps me back to reality. Pierson recounts, the earthquake hits without warning, sending furniture crashing to the floor, and panic erupting around us. In the chaos, I cling desperately to Kevin, needing his solidity amidst the turmoil. The ceiling fan crashed on top of us as debris rains down upon us. I shield my head with my arms, my heart pounding in terror. Pierson describes, through the haze of dust and fear, I spot Kevin beneath the mangled fan, blood trickling from a gash on his forehead. Agony sears through me as the heavy wooden table slams into my torso, knocking the wind out of my lungs. Pierson gasps. I collapse to the ground, struggling to draw a breath past the crushing pressure on my chest. The shaking subsided as the earth finally stops its violent trembling. An eerie silence descends upon the ruined room, Pierson says, his voice strained. I lay there, dazed and disoriented, my body screaming in pain as I fight to regain consciousness. Paramedics rushed in to save us. Blurred figures swarm around us, their voices a distant buzz as they tend to our injuries. Pierson recalls. A paramedic leans over me, pressing a stethoscope to my chest as she asks questions I can't quite formulate through the fog of pain clouding my mind. Her touch is gentle yet firm as she assesses my condition, her concerned expression a stark contrast to the chaos surrounding us. Pierson continues, in the midst of the commotion, I managed to catch a glimpse of Kevin being loaded onto a stretcher, his face pale and drawn with pain. With a surge of adrenaline, I force myself upright, ignoring the searing agony in my chest as I stumble towards Kevin's stretcher. The paramedic tries to steady me, but I shake off her grip, desperation overriding my pain as I cling to Kevin's hand. Pierson says, his voice cracking with emotion, his fingers are cold and clammy in mine, a stark reminder of how close we came to losing each other today. As they wheel Kevin away, I'm left standing alone amidst the wreckage, my heart pounding in my ears like a drum. Pierson recounts. The weight of what just happened settles heavily upon me, and tears prick at the corners of my eyes as I realize how fragile life truly is. Before I can fully process the aftermath of the earthquake, I find myself being carefully loaded onto another stretcher by a pair of strong arms. Pierson describes. The world spins dizzyingly as they secure me in place, the bright lights overhead making my head throb even more intensely than before. Hours later, I awaken in a sterile hospital room, groggily taking in the beeping machines and the antiseptic scent that permeates the air. My mind feels foggy, memories of the quake still fragmented and disjointed, but one image remains vividly etched in my memory, Kevin's pale face, his hand trembling in mine as he clung to consciousness. A soft knock at the door startles me, and I turn my head weakly to see Kevin standing there, looking disheveled but very much alive. Pierson smiles softly, he's holding a bouquet of flowers, their colors vibrant against the dull grayness of the hospital walls. Kevin enters the room cautiously, setting the flowers down on the bedside table, before approaching me slowly. His eyes search mine, uncertainty clouding his features as he takes in the bandages wrapped around my head, and the IV tube snaking into my arm. Pierson reaches out tentatively, his fingers brushing against Kevin's, sending a spark of warmth through him despite the lingering chill from the accident. I squeeze his hand gently, offering what reassurance I can muster in this vulnerable state. Pierson manages a small smile. Despite the pain and confusion swirling inside me, Kevin's presence anchors me, a beacon of comfort in the midst of chaos. The following morning, sunlight filters through the hospital blinds, casting a warm glow across the room. As I stir awake, Kevin is already seated beside the bed, his guitar case resting on his lap. Morning, he murmurs, his voice gentle as he brushes a strand of hair from my forehead. I blink slowly, taking in his familiar form, the way his dark hair falls across his forehead in that messy, endearing way. A faint smile tugs at the corners of my lips. You're here again. Didn't think you'd stick around after yesterday. Kevin's expression softens, his thumb stroking my skin lightly as he leans in closer. He whispers, of course I'm here, idiot. You nearly got yourself killed trying to impress me with your stupid stunt. Now you've got to stick around so I can take care of you properly. A blush creeps up my neck at his teasing words, but I can't help the chuckle that escapes me. I reach up, my bandaged fingers brushing against his cheek. Well, if that's the price I have to pay for your company, then I suppose it's a fair trade. As our gazes lock, the air between us seems to crackle with tension, a silent understanding passing unspoken between us. Slowly, deliberately, I close the distance, pressing my lips softly to Kevin's in a tender, healing kiss that speaks volumes of the bond growing stronger by the day. Breaking the kiss, we linger for a moment, foreheads touching, chests rising, and falling in sync. Kevin's breath fans across my skin as he murmurs, now, let's see about getting you out of here and back home where you belong. 5 minutes later, after signing some papers and being discharged, I wrap my arm gently around Kevin's waist as we exit the hospital, noticing how protective he is. He opens the passenger seat for me, baby. I pause with a grateful smile, I climb into the car, making sure not to jostle my injured hand too much. As Kevin slides behind the wheel, I lean my head against the window, watching the city pass by in a blur. "Thanks for being here." Kevin reaches over, his fingers intertwining with mine as he brings my hand to his lips for a gentle kiss. His eyes meet mine, filled with affection and concern. "Anytime, babe. Now rest up, 'cause when we get home, I plan on taking good care of you." My heart swells with emotion as we pull up to the sleek high-rise, its elegant facade a stark contrast to the chaos that once reigned within. Kevin helps me out of the car, his strong arms supporting my weight as we make our way inside. "Oh my God, Kevin." The interior gleams with polished wood floors and modern furnishings, a testament to your hard work and dedication. I turn to face him, tears pricking at the corners of my eyes. "It's beautiful. You've done so much for me. I did it for us. You are my husband after all." A soft gasp escapes my lips as reality sinks in, the magnitude of our situation hitting me like a tidal wave. My gaze locks onto his, searching for any sign of doubt or hesitation. "Yes, Kevin, we're husbands, and I promise, nothing will ever come between us again." The night of the earthquake we almost died, and I realize how precious life is, so I'm not gonna take it for granted anymore. Understanding flickers across Kevin's features, his expression softening into one of profound gratitude and renewed commitment. He pulls me close, his embrace enveloping me like a warm blanket. "Me neither, baby. From now on, every moment we share is a gift." Kevin's radiant smile illuminates the room, reflecting the warmth and happiness radiating from his very core. I can't help but return the gesture, my own lips curving upwards in perfect harmony. "Come on, let me show you around our new home." As we explore each spacious room, I can hardly contain my excitement, marveling at the way Kevin has transformed this once damaged space into a stunning sanctuary. In the master bedroom, I pause, turning to face him with a coy smile. "And what about this room, Mr. Bridgman? That's where the love gets made." I laugh. Kevin's hearty laughter fills the air, his joy infectious as he wraps an arm around my waist, pulling me flush against his side. I lean into him, savoring the solid warmth of his body. "Well, in that case, let's make sure to put it through its paces tonight. We will want you fully recover. I don't want to take a chance of you having to go back to the hospital." At Kevin's words, a swell of affection rises within me, my heart overflowing with love and appreciation for his concern. I tilt my head up, capturing his gaze with mine. "You always think of everyone else first, don't you?" "Well, Mr. Foda, I plan on keeping you around for a very long time, so I have to think about you. I almost lost you. I don't want to go through that again." Emotion clogs my throat as I listen to Kevin's confession, my eyes brimming with unshed tears. I reach up, cupping his cheek tenderly. "I'm here to stay, Kevin. With you. Forever. Good, because Luna needs both of her daddies here. Even though she's in college, she will always need us. That's our baby girl." A bittersweet smile tugs at my lips as memories of our daughter flood my mind. I nod in agreement, my voice thick with emotion. "She's grown into such an incredible young woman, but you're right. She'll always be our little girl who needs her daddies." Now I must go sit in the living room and watch a movie. After freshening up, I saunter into the living room, finding Kevin settled on the couch with the remote control in hand. I strut over confidently, slipping under his arm to cuddle close. "Mind if I join you?" I ask with a mischievous grin, already knowing the answer. "Get your fucking ass over here, you know better than to ask. I always love your company." Chuckling low in my throat, I snuggle deeper into Kevin's side, nuzzling my face into the crook of his neck. My fingers trail idle patterns along his thigh. "Such a charmer, aren't we?" I tease, pressing a soft kiss to his skin. We watch I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. As the nostalgic horror flick plays, I find myself drawn to Kevin's presence more than the screen. I rest my head atop his shoulder, listening to his steady heartbeat. "Remember when we used to sneak out at night, just like those kids?" I muse, a fond smile playing on my lips. Startled by the sudden jump scare, I let out an involuntary scream, burying my face into Kevin's chest as he chuckles at my reaction. I peek up at him, my cheeks flushed pink with embarrassment. "You think it's funny, huh, asshole? Hey, if it wasn't for us, assholes, you butt fuckers would be out of a job." At Kevin's crude remark, I can't help but burst out laughing, my body shaking with mirth against his. I wrap an arm around his waist, pulling him closer. "Damn straight, babe. We make a killer team," I murmur, planting a teasing kiss on his jawline. As the movie progresses, our hands wander, exploring each other's bodies beneath the cover of darkness. I nip at Kevin's earlobe playfully. "You know, we should really start working on that new song I told you about tomorrow." We will, smirking. I slide a hand down to cup Kevin's growing arousal through his pants. I give it a firm squeeze. "Or maybe tonight," I suggest with a wink, my own desire stirring at the thought of losing ourselves in passion together. I told you need to fully recover first. Pouting slightly, I release Kevin's straining erection. Though my fingertips linger on the fabric, I press a soft kiss to his lips. Fine, I'll behave for now. As the credits roll, I snuggle deeper into Kevin's side, feeling content and safe in his embrace. I yawn softly, the late hour catching up to me. I'm getting sleepy all of a sudden. I mumble, already drifting off. Mumbling drowsily, I nuzzle into Kevin's neck. Still half asleep. Pizza sounds good. Wing sauce is spicy though. I trail off, my eyelids drooping heavily as exhaustion takes hold. ZZ. Stifling a yawn, I stretch languidly, my bare skin brushing against Kevin's as I sit up. Smells delicious. I rub my eyes, blinking away sleep. Let's dig in. I grin, eager to refuel after our cozy movie night. Cozy movie, huh? You were screaming right through that shit. I blush deeply, realizing he heard my loud screams during the scary parts. Gulps. Yeah. I laugh nervously. I wasn't that loud, was I? Bites my lip. Did everyone hear me? Please, you scream so fucking loud the neighbor thought somebody was getting murdered over here. My face flushes an even deeper shade of red as I stare wide-eyed at Kevin, mortified by his words. Oh God, really? I cover my burning cheeks with both hands. I had no idea. I'm so sorry. I peek through my fingers, my gaze pleading for forgiveness. No, not really, I'm just fucking with you. Exhaling a shaky breath, I let out a relieved chuckle. You got me good, dude. I playfully punch his arm. Next time, warn a guy before you pretend his girlfriend is being slaughtered on screen. But I've seen that movie multiple times. I'm a big Jennifer Love Hewitt fan. Surprised by this confession, I raise an eyebrow and smirk mischievously. A fan, huh? Well, I guess that explains why you were so quiet during her scenes. Winks playfully. You were too busy ogling, weren't you? I flipped him off, laughing heartily. I shake my head in amusement. All right, keep your pants on. Grins teasingly. I was just messing with ya. We can all appreciate a beautiful woman, even if she isn't our type. Leans back comfortably, picking up a slice of pizza. Truth be told, she's a damn good actress, and you know it. Nods in agreement. Taking a bite of pizza. Absolutely. She has a certain charm that draws you in. Plus, she can pull off those vulnerable, scared expressions incredibly well. Chews thoughtfully, then swallows. But hey, enough about J-Love. My #1 favorite actor is a bitch named Pierson. I laugh, blushes deeply at the unexpected compliment, nearly choking on his drink. Hey, watch it, coughs, wiping his mouth with the back of his hand. A bitch who makes you laugh, huh? I'll take that as a win. Yes, you make me laugh among other things. His bold statement catches me off guard, causing my heartbeat to quicken. Oh really? What else do I make you feel? Raises an eyebrow curiously, leaning closer. Don't hold back now, tell me everything. Smirks knowingly, reaching out to trail a finger down Kevin's arm. Is that so? Well, I'm intrigued. Why don't you elaborate on these feelings you have for me? Looks into his eyes intently, desire simmering beneath the surface. You know exactly how I feel about you. Feeling emboldened, I lean in close. Our faces inches apart. Do I? Then prove it. Show me just how much you want me. Captures Kevin's lips in a searing kiss, tongue delving into his mouth as passion ignites between us. It's more than just want, it's need, but most importantly it's love. Pulls back slightly, gazing deep into Kevin's eyes, overwhelmed by the raw emotion. Love. Oh God, Kevin. Cups his face tenderly, thumb brushing away a tear. I never expected to find this kind of love, especially not with someone like you. You already know all this shit, we're married, so you know all the stunned. He sits back, processing the revelation. Married. Laughs nervously, running a hand through his hair. Wow, that's quite the bombshell to drop. But if it's true, then I suppose I should start acting like your loving husband, shouldn't I? Don't you remember all of them years ago when Luna was little? We went to the Bahamas and got married in front of our friends and family. Gasps, realization dawning as memories begin to resurface. The Bahamas? The beach ceremony? Our closest friends and family watching us exchange vows? Looks at Kevin with wide eyes, a mix of shock and delight. Oh my God, it's coming back to me now. Plus, you fucked me so hard that not my asshole was gaping for weeks. Blushes deeply, remembering their passionate honeymoon night. Well, when you put it that way. Chuckles softly, shaking his head in amusement. I guess I did wear you out pretty good, didn't I? Leans forward, capturing Kevin's lips in a sweet, tender kiss.